أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. I greet you the best greetings in the entire universe and the world. I say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you as you are watching our program, Understanding Islam. That is coming your way from MIT outside Ikeja. My name is Abdul Wahid Teller. On our program today, yes, we need to let our people know, we need to let everybody know that as a Muslim, we need to be prayerful, we need to abide by the rules of our Creator, Almighty Allah. We all understand the fact that we have 5 pillars in Islam. When we say pillars in Islam, it doesn't mean that is the only Islam that we have. It is just the pillars that will be our guide. The first one is to believe, to have faith in Almighty Allah as one. Yes, and the second one is observing our salat. The 5 canonical prayer is very compulsory. It's important for us. While the third one is giving alms to the less privileged, the vulnerables in our society. Yes, that is zakat. The fourth one, yes, is Sawm Ramadan, fasting in the month of Ramadan. It's not only Ramadan that the fasting that we have, but that particular Ramadan is a compulsory one that Allah has made a mandatory for every one of us. While the last one is pilgrimage to the Holy Land, that is Hajj. Having all these 5 pillars now, if one as a Muslim should abide by all this, then you continue with those supererogatory. Because when you believe in Allah, you believe in the Prophet ﷺ, you believe in all the articles of faith, believe in the last one, believe in the angel, believe in the prophets, believe in the books, believe in the last day of judgment, and believe in destiny, that khairi wa shari, whether it is good or bad. When you believe in all that, when you are observing your prayer, the 5 canonical prayer is there that we observe in the morning, Salatul Subhi, Salatul Zuhr, Salatul Asri, Salatul Maghrib, and Salatul Isha, respectively. And we have, that is for daily prayers. Then we also have a weekly one, that's Salatul Juma. Today is Yawm Juma now. We are going to observe our Salatul Juma. These are compulsory prayers for all Muslims. After Salatul Juma, we have another one that we can say during Ramadan. There is Taraweeh. When you, after observing your Isha prayer, you observe Taraweeh. That is during the month. Then we have the annual one that we observe. We have Salatul Eid, Eidain, the 2 Eids. We have Salatul Eid al-Fitri and Eid al-Adha, Eid al-Kabir. Eid al-Fitri is the one that we observe when after the completion of our Ramadan fast, whether 29 or 30, that Eid, that festive period, that we go and observe the 2 Rakah that we have, that is Eid al-Fitri. And Eid al-Adha is the Eid that we observe when we slaughter a ram, that is Eid al-Adha. These are the prayers that we have. We have some prayers that are also special. We have Salatul Istisqa, when there is drought, that rain does not fall. This is another rakah that we observe. We have Salatul Duha. These are supererogatory prayers. When you do all this, then on paying zakat, which happens to be the 3rd pillar of Islam, zakat, the rationale behind zakat is redistribution of wealth. Allah knows that we have a lot of people that are wealthy, they have money, they have things at their disposal, but some are less privileged, some are vulnerable. For Allah to make sure that the wealthy among us give to the needy, that is why it says in Islam, you pay your zakat, that is, you pay 1/40, that is 2.5%. In your net profits, 2.5%. When you make 40 million, in 40 million, it's just 1 million, that is 2.5%. On every 40 million is 1 million, that is zakatable in that your money. And then apart from this zakat, we also have sadaqah, we also have charity. Charity, you give alms to people. The zakat is just once in a year. Once in a year, you pay your zakat once in a year. And zakat, rationale behind zakat is when you give it to somebody, that person will also grow. That person that you give your zakat to must grow. It's not that you want to pay a 1 million zakat now, you now distribute it in envelope, you put 10,000, you now start distributing it to people. This is my zakat, this is my zakat. That is not the wisdom behind zakat paying. You pay your zakat to somebody. Maybe that 1 million should be divided into 2. You give it to someone that what he or she needs is just 200,000. Then that person, you give him or her 500,000. Because when he or she starts a business with 200,000, he will need to survive. He will need to eat, he will need to feed his family. He will be making use of the rest. So the other 500 you give to another person. It's not that you just distribute it in 10,000 and start giving it to Afa, Egba, Zakamiro, Zakamiro. You are not paying zakat. It's sadaqah that you are doing. So we need to know the difference between zakat and sadaqah. Sadaqah is you give sadaqah anytime to anybody. But the zakat, we have stipulated people. The Quran has mentioned it. إنما الصدقات للفقراء والمساكين وابن السبيل والغارمين والمؤلفة قلوبهم وفي الرقاب. About 9 categories of people that you give it to: the needy, the wayfarer, the debtor. The Quran has stipulated all this. That is zakat for you. Then when we talk about fasting in the month of Ramadan, it is stipulated in the Quran, Quran chapter 2, verse 183, that kutiba alaykum as-siyam kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Fasting has been ordained unto you as it was ordained to those before you, so that you can have piety. The rationale behind our fasting is for us to fear Almighty Allah. For you to know that you have everything at your disposal. You can eat 7 times a day. You can eat as many times as you want. But there are some people, when they eat in the morning, they will, before they can have another thing to take, is the other day. Yes, for you to have practiced fasting, you start in the morning from the sunset, from the dawn to dusk. When you observe that, when you meet somebody that has not eaten since morning or since yesterday, because you have gotten the feelings before when you are fasting in the month of Ramadan, so you'll be able to extend a beautiful gesture to such a person. That is the essence of fasting in the month of Ramadan. Almighty Allah wants to make both the wealthy, the rich, the poor, whether you are socialite, whether you are an ordinary person on the street. When you fast, you have become sawa, because we have become the same thing. That's, you can see what we have in Islam. These things are very important. And when it comes to Hajj, performing Hajj, pilgrimage to the Holy Land, this is so superb. This is so special. Yes, I could remember somebody that is very influential in Nigeria. It came to Hajj. I performed that Hajj maybe I thought it was 2017. Yes, he came to Hajj and somebody told me Mr. So is in Arafah. Then I paid him a visit at Muna. When I paid him a visit, you see, in Muna it was under tent. Everybody, when you come from Lagos State or you come from Ogun State, you come from Oyo State, you have a tent that it will just be written on your tent that this is Lagos State. And then the size of the bed you are going to make use of at Muna is the size of your grave. The size of your grave is the size of bed that you have. You have one bed here, another one here. That is how everybody will just be on their bed. You don't have official chair. You don't have executive and all that. This is where I met this particular man. And he was telling me, Abdul Wahid, no, the Hajj is fantastic. I've traveled all over the world. I've not experienced what I'm seeing in Hajj right now. You can see us, you can see how we are sleeping. Everybody, the rich, the poor, we just lie down on the bed that's of the size of our grave. That is just for you to make yourself humble, for you to make yourself lower before Almighty Allah, for you to be able to respect one another. Yes, there are a lot of things to be learned when you go for Hajj. In the Hajj now, when you are boarding your plane from Nigeria here, you sit together with your co-traveler and all that. When you get over there, by the time you do your Umrah, you put on your Ihram and you do all that. You see that there's nothing like preferential treatment. Everybody will just start your Tawaf, Bidayah to Tawaf. This is Tawaf starts here. It's written in English, it's in Arabic, that you start your Tawaf here. Your left hand side will be at the Kaaba. The right hand side, you see Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. You all start. You just be moving together. You circumambulation around the Kaaba. And after that, you do a lot of things together with pauper, poor, rich people. Because the only thing that you can just notice that somebody, maybe such a person is a president of a country or a governor from somewhere, maybe such a person is having some oddly. Whenever you see somebody that people are just around, they are making closer to him, maybe he was the one that brought them there. That's just the sign you can see on Hajj. Then when you move, because the Umrah is being performed in the Kaaba, the Umrah, everything you perform during Umrah is in the Kaaba. In the Beit Latik, you perform everything there. But when you are going for Hajj, Hajj is not performed in Mecca. It is performed outskirts the Mecca. They will take you, you put on your Ihram, you go to the outskirts of Mecca. You go out of Mecca city. That outskirts, You don't see any skyscraper house there, as you've been saying in Mecca. You don't see any bus moving around there, unless the bus that are bringing people to where you are. At that moment, it's just a tent. Everybody will be there. No official share, no luxury, no something like that. You just you'll be able to make yourself humble before your Creator Almighty Allah. Then that's also good. By the time you go to Arafah, from Arafah to Muzdalifah, yes, that is just the peak of it. Because at Muzdalifah, there's no chair, there's no even bed. In Muna, you still have bed, but in Muzdalifah, no bed. You see, whether if you like, you take your mat. If you don't have mat, you see some pali on the ground that you see. You need to pass night there at that Muzdalifah before you proceed on your journey. You see, everything that Islam has laid down is just for you to be humble before your Lord. It's just for you to know that in this world you have come one day and you shall leave one day. So you don't feel too pompous. You believe everything belongs to Allah, and we shall all return back to Almighty. Let's have a short break. It's understanding Islam. Let's have a short break now. The program continues.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا
يا أختنا بالله لا يغويك ذا الشيطان إن الحجاب فريضة من ربنا المنان يا أختنا بالله